Tim Reese back in Gallatin, Tennessee, where we are getting set for game 2 of the doubleheader between Lake County Lancers from Illinois and your Lady Pioneers. A little bit longer than, I guess, than the 30 minutes. Right at 30 minutes as the Lady Pioneers take the field. We'll change things up a little bit here in game 2. I've lost my intern, Reagan Smith, and so we will just run one camera, and you'll have to trust me with what happens down that left field line and what happens down that right field line. I'll describe it for you as best as I can. And on the mound for the Lady Pioneers, Cheyenne Lester getting her first action in the circle for the Johnny Linners. Toyota of Gallatin starting lineup. Let me give you for the Lady Pioneers. Corey Harris back out at shortstop leading off. Grace Gregory at third base, batting second. And Nia Boone at first base. She'll bat third. Bailey Osbrooks behind the plate will bat fourth. The number 5 hole hitter, Sydney Harris, back out in center field. Killian Roberts at second base. Reagan Swims batting 7th. And she's got 7s all the way around. She's batting in the 7 hole, wearing a number 7, and playing in the 7 position left field. That's a trifecta. Jaslyn Flowers, the designated player, basically like a DH. You veteran softball folks know that. Madeline Ray in right field. And as I said, Cheyenne Lester getting her first appearance in the circle. She'll face Natalie Lothar, Brooke Bennett, and Shannon Izzo here in the top of the first inning. Lady Pioneers won game 1, 18-6 in 5 innings of play. Lady Pioneers get their 20th win of the year. First pitch into Lothar, ball. And we are underway at 4:26 Central Time. Two balls, no strikes. Now to the leadoff batter, center fielder. Let's get you a game time temperature. 51 degrees, feels like, 53 as that ball's grounded out to Harris at short. 2 hops and a throw over to the hatless Anaya Boone for out number 1. 53 feels like 49 degrees here in Middle Tennessee. If you're from Illinois or a supporter of Lake County, you may not know exactly where Gallatin is. Probably about 20 miles northeast of Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville in Davidson County, and Gallatin in Sumner County, an adjoining county, as that ball is tapped into the mud hole over the on-deck circle for the Lady Pioneers. Maddie Croxford, who finished game 1, sticks her glove out and now gets a muddy ball for her effort. So thanks to Reagan Smith, who was running the laptop and scoreboard, our software system that runs the live stream on the VolState Sports Network. We are only on the VolState Sports Network on YouTube here for game 2. That ball is bunted down third base line. Grace Gregory just allowed that to go foul. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Reagan swims out in the left. Sydney Harris in center. 0-2 pitch way wide of the mark. Madeline Ray out in right field. Still haven't asked her why they call her Mal. Gregory at third, Harris at short, Roberts at second, and there's another bunt, 2 strikes, fielded by the pitcher. Cheyenne Lester, who throws over to Boone. 2 up, 2 down. Shannon Izzo steps to the plate with 2 outs. Had to take out that second camera. There's a line drive down that left field line. It will be fair and get to the fence. Swims, picks it up, gets it back in the infield. Throw by Harris. Nice play by Roberts to keep that one from getting by her. So a 2-out double by Shannon Izzo. It's the Lancers a rally here with 2 outs. Ball about 3 feet fair down that left field line. Helly Bibby steps in, third baseman for Lake County. Line drive into center field, and just like as in game 1, Lake County will take the early lead. Bibby will cruise on into second base. Back-to-back doubles. Lake County takes the 1-0 lead. Did that in game 1. I guess that must have made the Lady Pioneers mad because they put 11 on the board in the bottom of the first and never looked back. Strike called to Brecken Mercer, shortstop. Mercer 1 for 3 in game 1, had a single. Fouls that one off. Count goes no balls and 2 strikes. Mercer, 5'7" freshman from Wilmot, Illinois. Ground ball off the glove of Cheyenne Lester. That'll be an infield single. Throw made over to first base, but not in time to get Mercer. Official scorer might give an error there. Hard hit ball up the middle. When you're 45 feet away, I think that's a tougher play than it is when you're 60 feet away, as you are in a baseball game. So on my scorebook, 3 hits in the inning. Runners now at the corner, swing and a miss. Throw down to second base. Killian Roberts comes up, cuts that ball off before it gets to second. Throws to third base, but not in time to pick off Bibby. Runners now at second and third. Mercer with a stolen base. Amber Smith drives one out to left field. Reagan Swims over in the gap, makes a running one-handed catch to retire Smith. Nice play by the freshman left fielder. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Lake County 1. Lady Pioneers coming to the plate. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. All right, Tim Reese with the error on the broadcast already. I apparently took a picture of the wrong lineup card for Maureen Galaskowitz. So I think I had the right batters in the first 5 batters that came to the plate for Lake County. We'll check it. But for the Lady Pioneers, Corey Harris, the shortstop, leads off. She will shorten up on the bat. Pitch high. So it looks like Mercer is playing third base here. Via Lobos down at first base. Shortens again, does Harris. Called strike. Shannon Izzo is over at second base. Like Corey Harris is going to try to get a bunt single in a phone booth. You got 3 players and the pitcher that it will end up being 35 feet away from her if she gets the ball down on the dirt. Looks at strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He lines one out to left field. Have to see the number on the left fielder. She turns around. Of course, she's going to have a ponytail that's going to cover that number up. Thank you for helping the broadcaster out. I might have to get my – can you grab my binoculars right there on that left side of the professional broadcast now? Thank you, sir. Line out to the left fielder. For out number 1, Grace Gregory stepping up. Strike called. Thankfully, they do have numbers on the fronts of their shirt. Number 13 playing left field. It is Brooke Bennett. High fly ball to deep left field. Grace Gregory has just gotten the Lady Pioneers on the board. Solo home run. She got under that one. I believe she knew that one off the bat. On the mound for the Lake County Lancers, Caitlin Volkmar, on for at least her second appearance of the year. Maybe at least her third appearance. She's had 2 in the first 2 games. Nia Boone steps to the plate. She hits the first pitch that she sees into left center field for a 1-out single. That was Grace Gregory's 5th home run of the year. Bailey Osbrook steps in. She's the catcher here in game 2, was the DP. Had 2 at-bats in game 1, a double and a walk. Volkmar's pitch low. Grounded foul. Johnny Lynn makes no attempt at stopping that ball. That's a smart third base coach. All that can happen is you can get injured. Nothing good can come from that. ESPN's not here. They're not going to give you any more money for making plays down there as the third base coach. On deck, Sydney Harris. There's a smash into left field between the shortstop and the third baseman. Bennett up with it over to Mercer at third base. Runners now at first and second. Straight hits off the Lady Pioneers bats. Solo home run by Grace Gregory. Line drive into the outfield by Boone, and a base hit grounded through the left side by Osbrooks, the current Region 7 softball player of the year. That's a high pitch that gets by. Both runners will move up. Harris 2 for 3 in game 1, scored 3 runs, drove in 1. Count now goes 2 balls, no strikes. Natalie Lothar in center field, where she was for game 1. Juliana Villalobos at first base. Volkmar's delivery to Harris. Low. Three-0 count. Apparently not a pitch she wanted to take a hack at. One out now. Bases are loaded. Catcher is Haley Bibby, who played third base in the first game. Slides in behind the plate. So with the bases loaded, Killian Roberts steps to the plate. Killian, a big game 1, 2 home runs, a double, on base all 4 times she came to the plate, 6 RBIs. She is hitting now with the bases loaded. 1 out. She hits a hard shot to short, flips to second, throwback to the pitcher. Okay, I don't think I've seen that play before, but Roberts hits into the fielder's choice, gets an RBI. Harris is erased at second base as Anaya Boone comes in the second run of the inning. Lady Pioneers now lead 2-1. Reagan Swims steps to the plate. Osbrooks now down at third base. Runner goes, throw down to second base. It'll be cut off by Izzo. Cassidy Ways now the shortstop for Lake County. Slowly getting this defense figured out. Swing and a miss. Bibby, trouble getting the glove on that one. Amber Smith out in right field. So Brooke Bennett in left, Natalie Lothar in center, Amber Smith in right. Tapper down the third base line, foul. Let's get the count right up here. When you're doing, I can't multitask. I can't write the defensive alignment down on my scorebook and also put the count up on the scoreboard. Good, but I'm not that good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The umpire goes over to get some more dry baseballs. Maddie Croxford on the towel here for game 2. The 2 outs, runners at second and third. 2 runs in. Reagan Swims looking to deliver for her squad here. Pitch low. Brecken Mercer at third. Cassidy Ways at second. Shannon Izzo at second base. Cassidy Ways at short. Shannon Izzo at second. Juliana Villalobos at first base. Haley Bibby behind the plate. And there is ball 3 on a close pitch. We'll have a Full Count Ministries full count. I promised you a verse of the game after game 1. I'll have to give that to you after game 2. Had a lot happening after game 1. There's a hard shot to short. Ways started to flip to second base, thinking there was a runner at first. Realized there was not. She throws on to first base to retire Swims. We're out number 3. 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. 2 runners left on base. We're through 1 complete here in game 2. Lady Pioneers lead 2-1. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese back at the Dr. Warren and Chris Nichols softball complex on the campus of Volunteer State Community College. We move to the top of the second inning. And my lineup is incorrect, so we'll have to do a big change at the plate now. Where did my sheet go? There we go. Shannon Izzo. So Shannon apparently did not double. Now she's lined out to center field, Sydney Harris. Juliana Villalobos steps to the plate. First baseman, she taps one. Grace Gregory picks up. Will throw on to Sloan Link at first base. No, what? How did 13 get over there now? That is Sloan, right? She played there in game 1. Yeah. So Anaya Boone has been taken down. Sloan Link now at first base. And this is going to be a 3-pitch inning. Grace Gregory throws in the dirt, but Sloan Link picks it out of there. And was I mistaken? There was not. That was a 3-pitch inning. It's the second time in my life I've ever seen a 3-pitch inning. Okay. As a coach, I got something to say to my batters if that ever happens. But I'm not a coach, just a broadcaster. No runs. It's the easiest inning a pitcher can have. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Move to the bottom of the second inning. Jaslyn Flowers, the DP, steps in to face Caitlin Volkmar. Jaslyn had 2 at-bats, strikeout and a walk in game 1. She came on as substitute for Bailey Osbrooks. Two to one, Lady Pioneers lead. Jaslyn looks at that one, shakes her head. Yes, that was a good pitch. Flowers, a freshman from Livingston, Tennessee. Just a bit outside that one. Goes 3 balls, 1 strike. Three-one is tapped to the pitcher. Volkmar over to Villalobos for out number 1. Madeline Ray steps in, the right fielder for the Lady Pioneers. Did not get into game 1 from Ray County High School. Greg Law. Is that Evansville? Have you ever heard of Evansville, Tennessee? Or is it misspelled Evansville? Okay. Saw that at Columbia State and wasn't sure. Didn't get a chance to talk to her. She shortens up on the bat, but the pitch is out of the zone. Evansville, Tennessee. But you know how they can spell it one way, and down there, you never know how it's pronounced. 2 balls, no strikes to the diminutive Mal Ray. That said I couldn't say that because I'd turn it into malware. That would not be good. Number 9, hitter in the order, looking at a 3-0 pitch. It's 22nd game of the year for Madeline Ray. Hitting .235 as 1 double, 4 RBIs, and now ball 4. Second walk of the game by Volkmar. 1 out. And 1 on for leadoff batter Corey Harris. Lined out to the left fielder, Brooke Bennett, in the first. Hitting from that left side, third baseman Brecken Mercer is, and that ball hits the pitcher Volkmar. I've seen it in baseball. I haven't watched enough softball games to see that happen, but Haley Bibby drills Volkmar in the upper back. Pitch called a ball to Harris. Now in scoring position is Madeline Ray. Another pitch wide of the zone. Ray getting a huge lead off at second base. Ray has 8 hits, 6 walks, on base average of .366. Another big lead off, throw down to second base, not in time. Bibby throwing from her knees that time. Got it up a little bit higher over or out of the way of Caitlin Volkmar. Ray has scored 11 runs on the season. Ball 4, runner goes down to third base. Throw gets there at the same time as Madeline Ray. Cassidy Ways, the shortstop, over to cover third. And the ball got into left field, but Brooke Bennett able to get in and get that ball back into the infield. Runners now at the corners. Madeline Ray with 2 stolen bases. There's 2 walks in the inning. Grace Gregory, who homered in the first inning, steps to the plate. Runner goes, throw down to third base. Ray back in time. It's almost like a basketball game as to how quick you got to keep up with stats here. It's crazy. Stolen bases, wild pitches. There's a pitch in there for a called strike. Alyssa Costley down there coaching first base. What, that Christian have dinner plans or something? He gone? Assistant coach Christian Lynn. He must be the dugout mom. Every dugout needs a dugout mom. 3 balls, 1 strike. The third baseman, Grace Gregory from Good Pasture High School. There's another shot out the left field. This is going to be 2 bombs for Grace Gregory in this ball game. Her 6th of the year. And that is a 3-run shot to left field. And I'm still not sure she got all of that one. 2 walks come back to haunt Volkmar. Lady Pioneers take a 5-1 lead. Still only 1. Bailey Osbrook steps to the plate. She singled in the first inning, was stranded at third base. Grace Gregory vying to be in baseball, we'd call it the right rug flooring player of the game. Trying to find the sponsors here for softball. I know Dyer Construction is. Framework Athletics, of course. We've had the Framework Athletics first run of the game. That was Grace Gregory. Lady Pioneers train over there at Framework. There's a shot into the bushes on the left side. A loud strike. Framework Athletics, located at 104B Jessica Lauren Court in Hendersonville, co-owned by Zach Duke, 15-year Major League pitcher, and Ryan McDuffie, who was not a Major League Baseball player. His claim to fame is he married up wife Lindsay runs CrossFit Hendersonville. Ball 4 to Osbrooks. And runners now at first and second with Sydney Harris coming to the plate. Third walk of the inning. Only 1 hit. 3-run home run by Grace Gregory. First pitch swinging, Sydney Harris fouls that one off to the left side. She walked, but was forced out at second base in the first inning. Harris from Buford, Georgia. There's another foul ball off to the left side. Home plate umpire says either the game's over or I need some more baseballs. Anaya Boone's down there in her mudders. Got her big mud boots on down there looking for softballs. I will have to say, these bright green softballs have got to be way easier to find in the woods and the weeds than white baseballs. Those white baseballs get pretty dirty pretty quick. They blend into the dirt, but these neon green balls down low, gets by Bibby. Both runners will move up on the wild pitch. Guess we ought to put 2 runners on base, shouldn't we? There we go. I missed my intern already. Reagan Smith, come back. Runners in scoring position for Harris. She hits one that goes under the legs of Ways, the shortstop. 2 runs will score. Harris will check up at second base. Now that will go as an error in my book. Willie Brown, who's here with me, checking out the softball action here at VolState. He calls games for the TSU Lady Tigers. Looking to see if I can recruit him over here to VolState softball. Killian Roberts in the box. He looks at a pitch down low. Get a headset on Willie here soon and hear his thoughts of JUCO softball now that he's watched all of about 4 innings maybe. Pitch outside, throw down to second base. Harris back standing. Pioneers with 5 runs here in the second inning, taking a 7-1 lead. Roberts reached on a fielder's choice. There's a called strike. Killian Roberts now with 37 RBIs for the season, with that half a dozen she put up in game 1 of the doubleheader. Lady Pioneers back in action on Saturday in Dyersburg. That Friday-Saturday series has been moved to Saturday-Sunday. There's a chance I'll be broadcasting that from Dyersburg, Tennessee, when I will travel. That pitch on the outside corner brings us to a full count. Ministries full count. I will travel to Dyersburg. I don't get to travel on the team bus, as both baseball and softball fill up the big 55-seat bus. So I drive up, take my equipment, and whoever I can broadcast, I'll broadcast. Ball 4 puts runners now at first and second. And timeout will be called as the players will get together and talk about their coaches or about where they're going to eat later tonight. I'm not paranoid, but Willie, maybe they're talking about me. Nope. The 4th walk of the inning, 5th walk overall for Caitlin Volkmar. It's the 3rd pitcher for Lake County today. And Reagan Swims, the 9th batter to come to the plate for the Lady Pioneers, steps in. 4 walks, a home run, and an error. And a hit batter. Reagan Swims takes a hack at that one before it hits her. She grounded out to short to end the first inning. 1 out, 2 on, 5 in for VolState. Haven't seen the sun all day, but thankfully the rain has gone away. There's a pop-up into center field. Natalie Lothar makes the catch. The throw into third base keeps the runners where they started. Now 2 outs. Jaslyn Flowers, who led this off with a ground out back to the pitcher, steps in. Get you a knock right here, Jaslyn. Nobody likes to make 2 outs in 1 inning. Looks at a called strike, throw to shortstop. Maybe to tag Sydney Harris getting off of second base. I'm not sure. Don't know that I've seen that play. Christian Lynn laughed when, after I did the first game about a month ago, he said, Tim, you'll see things you've never seen in a baseball game here in college softball. There were bases loaded and a girl hit what seemingly looked like a base hit in the right field, but the right fielder came up and threw the girl out at first base for the 3rd out of the inning. I wasn't expecting that. There's a softly hit ball to second base. Izzo over to Villalobos. We're out number 3. The Lady Pioneers put 5 on the board and take a 6-run lead. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese back in Gallatin. We move to the top of the 3rd inning. Lady Pioneers lead 7-1. Leadoff batter Natalie Lothar swings at the first pitch. It hits the dirt and squirts to the right of Corey Harris at shortstop. That'll be an infield single on the first pitch. So after going down 1-2-3 in the 2nd inning on 3 pitches, what does the leadoff batter do? Swing at the first pitch. Number 13, Brooke Bennett, grounded back to the pitcher. She does not swing at that pitch, and it's a strike called for her effort. That is the 4th hit of the ball game for Lake County. Brooke Bennett playing left field. There's a ground ball to short. Harris up with it over to first base. Strong throw. Runner moves up to second base on the ground out. So Willie Brown is with me. I'm going to turn his microphone up now. Willie, how you doing?
Man, life is good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me in your headset?
Oh, yeah, I got you pretty good.
I think we'll put you up about where I am. Hopefully the folks can hear you. Let's see who we got up to the plate. Number 7, not Shannon Izzo, as I had indicated the first time she came to the plate. Cassandra Jimenez got that double down that left field line, Willie. So, Willie, how many games have you called for the Tennessee State Lady Tigers softball so far?
So right now, 5. Started the season versus Bradley, then played Alabama A&M. So 4 actually. Then 2 games versus Southeast Missouri State. That's a team. If you're familiar with that program, a lot of early on, a lot of people would pencil in a W by Tennessee State. They're led by Coach Janae McRath. She's out of Memphis, Tennessee. She's been on the staff since 2019, but has been the head coach this is her second season as the head coach. And I can tell that she really has those ladies mentally going in the right direction and athletically as well. So that is a program that a lot of teams in the Ohio Valley Conference will have to watch out for because they're going to sneak up on some people this year.
So TSU plays in the OVC. I don't know how many of the teams in OVC that have basketball and baseball also have softball. That ball is tapped down. And Maureen Galaskowitz, I got to look down at my pronunciation sheet every time. I can't even look at it the way it's actually spelled. Galaskowitz makes the play. And we have a Full Count Ministries full count to Cassandra Jimenez. Number 7 line drive. She's now 2 for 2. She drives in a run and will have a stand-up double. She's 2 for 2, 2 doubles. Did not play in game 1. Getting the start here in game 2. I'm guessing she's the DP. Because I did not see a number 7 out in the field. Now Haley Bibby steps in. She's catching here game 1. She also doubled. In the first inning, drove in Jimenez. Run scored for Lake County now 7-2. Game 1, they scored 6 runs. That's the most runs they scored in any game this year. Lady Pioneers won that game 18-6. Ground ball to Harris. That ball stays down. She collects, throws over to Sloan Link to retire Bibby. Jimenez has to stay at second. So 2 outs. How long has the TSU program been back up and running?
I mean, just like everyone else, since the COVID-shortened season of 2020, they've been going ever since then. But that's a TSU program that I believe started in 1997.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
okay.
I mean, they've been around for a while, but they're a program that has yet to have a winning season. They flirted with it a couple times. For a lot of followers, the 2018 season is the season they would like to forget. That's the year they went 4-48.
Yeah. I knew when back in Belmont day, my Belmont days in the 80s, there was a baseball team, but there was not a softball team that I knew of. So, but now there's no baseball team as Mercer grounds back to Lester, who throws on the link for the third out. We'll just keep it right here, Willie, and I can get caught up on my outs and runs, and we can just talk for a little bit. So we don't get that in the middle of the softball action. As
I will say this. The biggest thing about VolState that is sticking out to me today, I love the patient hitting. They know exactly what to hit and what not to hit. And a lot of their runs have been they've had a home run in this afternoon's game, in game 2. I think I saw 2 in the first game. But it's the patient hitting and the good base running by this team. This is going to be enjoyable to watch throughout the year. Now I see why in their region they can potentially be top 10. They're 13th, if I'm correct, in the region right now. So this is a very historic program. A lot of athletes that have come, through Gallatin, Tennessee, through this program. And even some players from Sumner County have gone on to play high-level softball, and I see why.
Johnny Lynn's been here for 30 years. Athletic director Bobby Hudson been here for about 38 of those, I think, or 38 years. And Johnny, I don't know his complete. I don't remember how he got to this spot. I guess we could interview his wife, who's sitting over here, has been involved with him for 32 and a half years, but she doesn't want that. She's running the scoreboard. Although no more music, no DJ. We don't DJ. And Christian took his phone. What? Oh, that's just a bit up stairs on that one. That one stuck to her fingers. So no DJ, and we're just operating the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard out there. But no, Johnny's been here, I know, a long time, and he and Coach Bobby Hudson, who's the athletic director here, their institutions at Volunteer State. Of course, the baseball coach is only in his second year, but he's been around the Middle Tennessee baseball scene forever. That's Jim McGuire. Of course, Bobby Hudson looking for a new men's basketball coach. Now, as we are getting started for the bottom of the third inning, Madeline Ray leads off against Caitlin Volkmar. Madeline walked, stole second, stole third, and scored on Grace Gregory's 3-run home run. Shortens up once again. It's ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. So you were telling me an interesting piece of information there about your broadcast. You don't actually go and watch it live, right? I mean, you're watching it live, but you're watching it on a screen. Where do they play their home games?
So their home games are played on campus, the Tiger Field,
okay,
which is behind, if you want to say, the Gentry Center.
Okay.
So COVID blessings, with that, and I say this because it allowed individuals to create a new entity of delivering sports.
Right.
And that's really the only blessing that has come out of it. I say all that to say I'm watching the games remotely, and I've actually done a collegiate – TSU is not the first collegiate softball game I've done remote.
Really?
So it's interesting. Nothing like being at the facility, but watching it on a screen, it helps and it hurts at times as well. So sometimes if the ball goes out of an unmanned camera, I'm at the wit's end of the umpire. So gifts and curses to remote broadcasting, but as you know, as announcers, we find a way to make it work.
It's nothing like being at the ballpark, but a lot of times, especially in summer broadcasts that I've done, I'm actually outside, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad. That ball's laid down. It will go foul by Corey Harris. Madeline Ray, as she walks, steals second base on at second base with nobody out. Top of the order, and Harris at the plate. She's lined out the left, walked, and scored. And on deck, Grace Gregory. 2 at-bats, 2 home runs. Pulls the bat back on the bunt, and that ball gets by Bibby. The wild pitch, Madeline Ray moves up 60 feet and standing on third base.
Yeah, this Lake County program, it's pitching-wise it's not the strongest point for these young ladies. Hence why they've given up a lot of wild pitches.
Nice stop there by Bibby. Keep a run off the board there for now. 3 balls and a strike. 3 infielders on the left side. Actually, that is an outfielder who's come in to play infield. Izzo and Villa Lobos still on the right side. Mercer, Lother, and Ways on the left side. Ball 4. Second time that Harris has walked. If I'm going to walk anybody, it's going to be Grace Gregory right now. Has hit number 5 and number 6 long ball of the year here in game 2. Home runs by Anaya Boone and 2 by Killian Roberts in game 1. Runner from first goes to second. Throw down towards second to cut off Izzo. Does absolutely nothing. Runners now second and third. Gregory looking for a pitch to hit. And that's not it. That ball will get away from Bibby, and Madeline Ray will come in to score the 8th run for the Lady Pioneers. If I'm at the plate, I'm telling Madeline Ray, stay at third. I'm going to drive you in. They'll take away one of my RBIs. Ball 3 to Gregory. Pretty sure she's got a green light here. Bennett in left, Lothar in center, Amber Smith in right. There's ball 4. So 3 straight walks to start the 3rd inning. That's 8 walks in the ball game for Caitlin Volkmar. Volkmar from Spring Grove, Illinois, Grant Community High School, a freshman. Sloan Link, who came on for Anaya Boone, was hit by a pitch. The first pitch she saw, that pitch, strike 1. We'll put her on first for a half a second and then move her on down to second base on the stolen base. Pitch down in the dirt. One run in, 4th batter to come to the plate here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Game time temperature was 53 degrees, felt like 49. Might be going down, wind blowing out the center field. There's the pitch, swung on and fouled down the right side. That will check up right by the tarp down that right field line. Again, I'll put I don't have it over here. Just going to put my email address. There's a line, ground ball up the middle. That should score 2. Base hit throw is cut off. So the first hit of the inning drives in 2 runs. Gives the Lady Pioneers a 10-2 lead. We need a crowd mic is what we need here, Willie.
I think that would enhance the game just a little bit.
I know Christian had one up here one time. That pitch gets by Bibby and down to second base. Will go Link on the wild pitch. It's Bailey Osbrooks at the plate. She singled and walked. Yeah, inside this press box, the windows that are right in front of us, they don't open, but there are windows on each side. We'd have to run a pretty long cord, and I think Christian did run one that went over here to this, where you can hear a little bit of that crowd noise that's out there. And what you miss, what I found, is the cheering coming from the dugouts. Obviously, softball is quite a bit different in the cheering aspect from the players themselves. Pop up into shallow right field. In comes Amber Smith, and she'll make the catch. Tagging on the play is Link, and she will get up to third base. On the fly out. It's actually the first out of the inning, and we'll have another timeout. Link now down at third base. And pinch hitting for Sydney Harris. It's Katie Davis. Harris finishes 0 for 1 with a walk. Katie Davis batting from the left side. That will move center fielder Natalie Lothar into the infield on the left side. And right fielder Amber Smith will move into center field. There's a shot to third base. Mercer up with it over to Villalobos for the out. Katie Davis swings at the first pitch she sees. And now Killian Roberts will step to the plate. She's looking for her first hit of the ball game. Had 3 hits in game 1. Reached on a fielder's choice and walked. Here in game 2, 10-2, Lady Pioneers lead. There's a shot into center field right in her wheelhouse, and that will get through. Lothar, an RBI single. Roberts will stay at second base. Single and an error. Moves her onto that second base bag there on the center fielder. But a solid single. You saw it kicking up some water out there from that rain last night. Sloan Link comes in to score the 4th run of the inning. Reagan Swims back up for her 3rd plate appearance of the contest. She's 0 for 2 on the outside corner called strike. Swims from Haleyville, Alabama. Started the first game in the circle. Got a pitch she liked right there and fouled it to the on-deck circle. Jaslyn Flowers picks it back up. Swims the 8th batter to come to the plate. Thank you for joining us today on the VolState Sports Network, whether you're a Lady Pioneer supporter or Lake County. Glad to have you along. Some point in time down the road, we might add, if I can talk our man AJ Fawson into it, we'll add a Twitter feed as well, which we do in baseball. 0-2 pitch, misses high. Two balls, 2 strikes. Well, Willie, I probably shouldn't have done this. I looked this up on YouTube, how many people are watching. That's the most, by far, we've ever had in a softball game, I'll tell you that. And I'm pretty sure I never had that many in a baseball game. So I wonder if all the baseball guys are watching.
I mean, I feel like the word is getting out. I mean, this is a really good softball program. And I think they deserve as many viewers as they can get. I mean, this is a really disciplined team, and in my time here, and when it is time for me to do a game, it's going to be really fun to watch these young ladies play.
Shot down to third. Mercer makes a nice play, throws over to Villalobos to retire. Swims. Well, what these folks are not used to, if they're VolState supporters, they're not used to an actual broadcast. What they normally get is they get a blank, or they get the video stream, and they get the scoreboard, which they'll typically have somebody who's paying a lot more attention to the scoreboard because they're not having to talk or keep a scorebook. So that's all that the normal folks that listen in or watch this stream, all they're doing is watching. So we are looking for a broadcaster, and that's why I've asked around, and that's why Willie's here. Is we're going to see if we can fit him into the schedule somehow. And of course, we do have the conference tournament that VolState is hosting this year. So there'll be 16 games. Not all of those will be VolState games, obviously. So we'll need broadcasters for each of those. I'll handle baseball. And so we are looking for softball broadcasters, and whether they come as students or people outside. Obviously, I don't make that decision on who gets to come in here, but if they'll take my recommendation, probably the athletic director here. So that's what we are trying to get squared away as we move to the top of the fourth inning. Lady Pioneers lead 11-2. Amber Smith steps in. Right fielder here in game 2. She lined out in her last plate appearance. That ball grounded foul down to Grace Gregory. A foul ball is not a ball. We are working with the radio department here. That ball is drilled out to right field. That'll be off the, well, that'll be on the road. That was over the high fence out there. And a solo shot for Amber Smith. I don't remember if she took one out of here in game 1 or it was. That's her second home run of the day. Amber Smith crushes that one to right center field. The third run of the ball game for Lake County.
I will say this about Lake County. I mean, coming in 0-7, and that's not an error. And when it comes to records, I feel like if this team were to have 10 to 12 more games.
Line drive into right field. Madeline Ray will collect that one, but that's another base hit. That one's Shannon Izzo, who lined out to center field. So 2 up and 2 hits here in the top of the fourth. Go ahead.
I was saying, I feel like if this team were to have 10 to 12 more games under their belt, I mean, you could be looking at a totally different Lake County program.
Well, they'll go back up to Illinois and play a schedule. I assume they're going to get 50 games in. They have a conference that they play in. Seems like I did write down what conference they played in, but I can't find that note right now. We will have a new pitcher on for the VolState Lady Pioneers. We'll take a quick break and tell you about the new pitcher when we return. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Allie Grace Patton on for the Lady Pioneers. First pitch she delivers to Juliana Villalobos, fouled at the plate. I mean, Bailey Osbrook sprung out of there like She was fixing to turn 2, but the ball was just foul. That ball's grounded to a vacated position at second, but Killian Roberts able to get back and field that ground ball and throw Villalobos out at first base. There's the first out of the inning. On the play, Izzo moves to second. Cassidy Ways steps in. She grounded out to third base. She swings at that first pitch, fouls it off. She was the batter that, after Izzo and Villalobos were retired on the first pitch of their at-bat, she went up there and swung at that third pitch and grounded out to Grace Gregory at third, which you cannot do when the first two batters get out on the first pitch. (11-3), Lady Pioneers lead. On deck, leadoff batter Natalie Lother. On the outside corner, called strike 3. Down goes Ways. Ways from Grays Lake North High School. 5'5" freshman. Now sophomore Natalie Lother steps to the plate. Allie Grace Patton on in relief. First pitch, I believe, missed. There's a ground ball to second base. Roberts over to Link. And that retires the side. 1-run solo home run by Amber Smith. 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We're through 3.5. Lady Pioneers 11-3 over Lake County Lancers. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese back in Gallatin, Tennessee. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jaslyn Flowers, Madeline Ray, and then at the top of the order, Corey Harris, scheduled for head coach Johnny Lynn. Thankfully, he had the tarp on the field yesterday as it rained all night long. 1 ball, 1 strike to Flowers, who's 0 for 2. Caitlin Volkmar has gone the whole way so far for Lake County. 2 balls, 1 strike to Flowers. Grounded to third. Mercer up. Throw over to Villalobos in time to retire Flowers. She's grounded out 3 times. Madeline Ray steps in. She has walked 2 times. 3 teams in Region 7 in the top 15 in the country in Division 1. Volunteer State at 13 with a 20-5 record now. Chattanooga State coming into today was 20-7. They are ranked 10th in the country, and Walter State 26-0 are ranked 4th in the country. Ray will look at a called strike on the outside corner. Tap 1 to the pitcher. Volkmar up and over to Villalobos for out number 2. Just basically looks like a swinging bunt is what a lot of the left-handers are doing. The problem is they don't want to hit it right back to the pitcher. Surprised that we're not seeing more drag bunts from that left-handed side of the plate. The left-handers go ahead and pull that ball with them. Another left-hander, Corey Harris, steps to the plate. First pitch she sees in there for a called strike. We must have had an entire little league team or something that was watching and then just dropped off. We've gone from 116 people watching to 63. I don't know what happened there. Line drive down that left field line. It will drop in fair. Corey Harris looking at second and will hold up. Ball gets by on the throw in, but comes right to the bag. So a 2-out double. First hit of the ball game for Corey Harris. Right down that left field line. I know when I've seen those left-handers step to the plate, you'll see that left fielder that will stand about 4 feet off of the line down there. But Brooke Bennett did not get that far over in her positioning prior to Harris's line drive. Grace Gregory steps to the plate. Gregory having a big game just like Killian Roberts did in game 1. She's got 2 home runs and a walk, scored 3 runs, driven in 4 for VolState. He drives one high and deep to center field. Could this be number 3? It is. Her 3rd long ball of the game. Grace Gregory went down there and got that one. That is a 2-run home run. Number 7 now on the year for Grace Gregory. Pioneers open up a 10-run lead over the Lancers of Lake County. All that happening with 2 outs. Corey Harris got the double, and Grace Gregory lifted her 3rd home run of the game over the left field fence right next to the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard. There's a line drive into right field, but Amber Smith playing over in the gap. Sloan Link trying to get an extra base hit as well, but she lines out to Smith for the 3rd out. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through 4. Lady Pioneers lead 13-3. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Last chance for the Lake County Lancers. Move to the top of the fifth. And a attempted bunt by Brooke Bennett. And she lines out to Grace Gregory at third base. So a quick out. Hallie Grace Patton on the mound. Cassandra Jimenez, not been retired yet today. 2 doubles, scored 1 run, drove in another one. Patton puts one right on her shoe tops for ball 1. Tapped in front of the plate. Patton out to make the play, and a ruling is she's safe. I thought the throw beat her, but a swinging bunt, and Jimenez is 3 for 3. Hallie Bibby steps to the plate. 1 for 2. Swing and a miss. Tell you, they're looking like they want to get out of here early for dinner. It's dinner time. They are swinging at the first pitch on a regular basis. Another swing and a miss. Katie Davis moves into center field after pinch hitting for Sydney Harris. So Swims in left, Davis in center, and Ray in right. On the outside corner for called strike 3. Down goes Bibby. 2 outs. The 8-run rule is in effect here in the top of the 5th inning. Brecken Mercer steps to the plate. She's 1 for 2. Second strikeout for Hallie Grace Patton, who came in relief of Cheyenne Lester. She is pumping in the strikes. Pitch gets in there on the inside corner. Stay tuned for the player of the game and the verse of the game. We'll come out of the Old Testament. This could be it. And Hallie Grace Patton will have nobody to throw to as Killian Roberts late getting over. Sloan Link had come up from her first base position to try to field that ball, but another infield single on the play. Jimenez moves over to third base. So another swinging bunt. We'll have a pinch runner at first base. Brecken Mercer looks like maybe she's injured herself. Danielle Brogy will come on to pinch run. She caught game 1. Timeout's been called. Guess the umpire writing that in his scorebook. Amber Smith, who homered in her last at-bat, steps to the plate. If she homers here, we're going to be playing at least the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch on the outside corner. That one might have winked at the outside corner. Pretty generous call right there for Hallie Grace Patton. Changeup, slow pitch in there for strike 2. Smith down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Izzo on deck, hoping to get an at-bat. Patton looks at her wristband and delivers the 0-2 on the outside corner at the knees for called strike 3, and this ball game is over. This one belongs to the Lady Pioneers, who take the doubleheader from Lake County. This one also in 5 innings. Final score 13-3. Lady Pioneers move to 21-5 on the season. Lake County falls to 0-8. And the player of the game is Grace Gregory. 3 home runs. I apologize, I shorted her a home run. 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. Player of the game for Game 1 was Killian Roberts, who had 2 home runs, a double, and also 6 RBIs. And I know Coach Lynn happy to get this one in today to get several players some at-bats, and it's 2 pitchers, some action that has not seen much this year. So today's verse of the game comes from the Old Testament. We'll read out of Psalms 86:11. Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may rely on your faithfulness. Give me an undivided heart that I may fear your name. Find that at Psalms 86:11. That verse brought to you by Full Count Ministries. Jacob Oldham and Josh Carmen are 2 of the full-time employees at Full Count Ministries, and they are VolState baseball alum and very active in the community for baseball. So if you know anybody, high school baseball or even younger, look up Full Count Ministries and see all that's available for your baseball player. So, Willie Brown, thank you for coming and watching and getting a feel of what's happening here on the campus of Volunteer State Community College. Thank you to A.J. Fawson, Reagan Smith, Stanley Carr back at the studio for their assistance in getting us up and running today, as we will show this one as final. And thank you for those that joined the show at treesports@gmail.com in Game 1. But I've enjoyed it, and as I said earlier, I will be traveling to Dyersburg this weekend for Saturday, Sunday. I'm not sure if they'll let me. I'll do baseball, but I know there's already a baseball broadcast for Dyersburg, so I'm not sure if there's a softball one or not. Hopefully I'll get to do either baseball or softball. I will effort to do that. So we'll put something out. Christian Lynn will put something out on the Twitter account to let you know if there will be an actual broadcast of the games. The Lady Pioneers will play a doubleheader on Saturday, a doubleheader on Sunday, and that's against the Dyersburg, the Lady Tigers, Lady Eagles of Dyersburg, whatever it is, of Dyersburg State. They are 8-4, and the Lady Pioneers 9-3 in TCCAA action. So for Athletic Director Bobby Hudson and Head Coach Johnny Lynn, this is Tim Reese saying God bless you, and we will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.